to part 5 of Hasbro's 1994 Stargate line. Today we're going to look at Anubis in his Chief Guard flavor, because there's two Anubises, or Anubi? There's two of them, but we'll save the other one to go with the wing glider, because the other one is a pilot. And this one is just a guard version. And of course Ra, the big bad guy, the ruler of Abydos. But we'll start with Anubis. So Anubis is another one of the transforming helmet henchmen of Ra in the movie. In the Egyptian mythology, Anubis is a wolf-headed deity who's the kind of gatekeeper to the afterlife, who's part of the weighing ceremony where your soul is weighed to see if you're worthy to enter the afterlife. He's also associated with mummification. But this Anubis comes with a shooting sandstorm blaster. On his card, he's mentioned to be the leader of Ra's Horus guards. So I guess there's only supposed to be one Anubis, while there's many Horuses. He's the champion, the strongest, the best trained, and he's never been defeated. He's really dedicated to Ra, and he'll give his life for him. Anubis has no fear of being challenged by anybody else, even the Horus guards. He wears the Jackal illusion mask to command respect of the Horus guards and the fear of Ra's slaves. They call it an illusion mask again. Maybe they know something I don't. So Anubis, like Horus, has tons of detail all over him. He looks pretty great. He's got the silly little window again, and for some reason they decided to make them all white dudes, but overall, I mean, the sculpt is pretty cool, and I think they're a good representation of what you saw in the movie, which is, to me, what an action figure based on a movie should be. But it's so rarely the case. The little artifact he came with is one of the wing gliders. When I was reading about it, I guess the original gliders looked much more boxy, and they actually used a design from Ra's belt buckle as the inspiration for what the aircraft actually ended up looking like. Now, his sandstorm blaster is absolutely ridiculous, and I'm not sure if this was molded for the Stargate line, but it has this silly kind of pyramid motif going on it, with a giant gold missile, of course. I'm not sure, is this the trigger? He also comes with one of the staff weapons, just like Horus did, but he seems to kind of have the same difficulty holding it. Yeah, overall, I still think the bad guys are the best part of this toy line. And here we have Ra, who cuts an imposing figure, which is completely the opposite of what he looks like in the movie. When you first see him, he is in kind of a full headdress, kind of sarcophagus mask look, but when it unfolds, he's actually an alien inhabiting I guess they were going for a more frail looking, kind of almost feminine male body. I imagine they wanted him to look kind of, otherworldly in that kind of androgynous way, I guess. I'm not sure what they were going for, but he looks very different. He comes with a shooting pharaoh gun, and again, it sounds like it fires lesser pharaohs out of it, or it's meant for shooting other pharaohs. He's the unquestioned ruler of Abydos. His very name strikes fear in the human slaves. He possesses unimaginable secret powers and has the total loyalty of his Horus guards. The only really powers you see that he has in the movie are kind of technology based, like he's got this handpiece that he kills a Horus guard with as a punishment, but it takes a really long time, and uses it on Daniel Jackson, and it takes so long that somebody saves him. It just kind of causes you to vibrate and bleed from your eyes and stuff. So here's Ra in all his glory. He's got an especially long kind of additional loincloth piece here that for some reason they just wrapped it around and joined it so it sticks out. It looks pretty silly. His headpiece comes off, still doesn't look anything like he does in the movie. I guess they gave him this kind of gold color to reflect the kind of gold sarcophagus look that you first see him in. I can understand them wanting to make him look more imposing, I guess. It looks like he's just using mostly the same sculpt as some of the Horus guards, just with some slightly different detailing on him. He does look good. His supreme power is kind of lessened next to these guys since they're so much taller than him. Ra's mini accessory is the pyramid-shaped spaceship that he flies around in. Was mentioned in the comments that can fit over the pyramid that Daniel Jackson came with. Which I actually have right here. One moment. Okay, here we go. Bam. Awe-inspiring. Ra also comes with this fish staff for some reason. Looks like a fish to me. He doesn't actually use a staff weapon in the movies, but I guess they wanted him to give him something. But again, he has difficulty holding it, just like his minions. There we go. He can hold it daintily by the fin. I think Ra wins hands down for the most ridiculous rocket launcher. Look at this thing. It's got 2 fins. It's just enormous. I don't know. It looks like a spaceship or something. I just don't know what it's supposed to be. It looks like it's got the kind of aesthetic of the, what was it, the Zorg 5000 or something from the Fifth Element. I don't remember the actual name of it, but this big missile at the bottom reminds me of that. Now that I have these guys lined up like this, I am noticing Ra's silver booties that look like Mork from Ork's boots. Anyway, that wraps up part 5. The big bad Ra and his main henchman Anubis. So there's just one figure remaining, which is another pilot version of Anubis, and the giant wing glider, which is, I'm very excited to see all put together because it's a huge box and it should have a pretty impressive presence. Thanks for watching and for sticking with this toy line that has its ups and downs. These villain figures definitely being part of the ups, I think. And we'll see if the big wing glider lives up to the hype in the end. Just stay tuned for the next one, and we'll finish up Hasbro's 1994 Stargate toy line.